There used to be a time when people believed that the earth was created by gods. But times have changed. We have come a long way from that. We chose to step outside Earth, our home, and by doing so, we found a whole new universe for us to explore. The universe is everything around us, from the tiniest particles to the huge galaxies, to the very existence of time. Simply put, the origin of universe is the origin of everything. Throughout history, people have tried to explain how this universe came to be. Today, the most widely accepted theory is the Big Bang theory. Everybody has heard of it at some point in time. So let's look into what happened after that. How did this universe come to be what it is now? According to the Big Bang theory, in the beginning, there was nothing. Well, not nothing, rather just a few millimeters wide point with an immense amount of energy. From that point in the universal timeline, through a number of events, this universe came to be what it is right now. The very first event was the Big Bang, which we have established. Logically, that defines the time was created by Big Bang. The point of energy exploded and started to expand, creating the very first essence of this universe. Events after the Big Bang are normally subdivided into several eras or epochs. So let us start with the era that still persists in the universe. After this explosion, the universe became dominated by radiation. This fact leads us to the name of this era, the radiation era. This era is subdivided into smaller eras, each defined by a unique event. As epochs progressed, the universe began to expand as well as cool down. The very first epoch was the Planck epoch. During this time, the matter did not exist. Rather, the universe, however relatively small, was filled with energy and the ancestors of current forces, known as the Superforce. By the end of this epoch, gravity had split away from the Superforce, leading to a new epoch, the Grand Unified Epoch, where gravity was a separate force. Other forces were the combination of strong, weak, nuclear and electromagnetic forces. This epoch came to an end when the strong nuclear force split away from the superforce. Next came the inflationary epoch, where the universe started to expand rapidly. The universe was made up of electrons and similar tiny particles. This was followed by the electroweak epoch. During this time, the weak nuclear force and the electromagnetic force existed independent of the superforce. The quark epoch, a point in the universal timeline where all the ingredients for matter to exist was present. But no subatomic particles were formed due to the extreme temperatures of the universe. The Hadron epoch. Now the universe was cool enough for quarks to bind together to form neutrons and electrons. LEPTON epoch. In this epoch, the total mass of the universe was as a result of electrons rather than protons and neutrons, which is still the case today. In the nuclear epoch, protons and neutrons started to bind together to form the very first chemical element, helium. In the next epoch, known as the atomic epoch, The temperatures were low enough for electrons to be attached to the nucleus to form the second element of the universe, hydrogen. Then came the galactic epoch. Gas particles at this point in time may have had enough gravity to form the first building blocks of our galaxies. Finally, the stellar epoch. Stars began to form. And yes, this is the current epoch. Though there remains much to be debated on this. According to scientists, we have already entered into the next era, the dark energy era, when the universe is expanding at an unimaginable speed. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this was a simple timeline from the point where time began to today. What is funny is we're sitting right in the middle of it, trying our hardest to figure out what had happened in the past and what could possibly happen in the future. And that is our universe in all its mysterious beauty.